So let us start discussion today on a very important topic. I have already mailed you and WhatsApp you the notes regarding this harmonization of accounting standards or how harmonization of accounting practices. There are two concepts which are involved here, and sometimes people use it interchangeably, but it has a lot of variance of degree. For example, sometimes when we use the word harmonization, and sometimes we use the term standardization. So there is a some people sometimes use it interchangeably, but actually it has a variance of a degree. For example, when we say standardized, it means absolutely an actual standard has been established, and while preparing the books of accounts, there should not be any kind of variations from the set standards. But when we say harmonization, it is a lesser degree than the standardization, but it has been tried at the international level that all the accounting practices must be in tune with the other countries or the other accounting bodies which are following for preparing the financial statements. So there is a variation of a degree. Both terms should not be used interchangeably. So today, whatever we will discuss, that will be focused on harmonization of accounting standard through internationalization. Because you must be observed that as far as the business is concerned, now business is conducted at a global level. So when businesses are conducted at global level, and all accountants over the world feel that there is a necessity to shorten the gap among different streams of accounting practices through harmonization. So all the countries, all the accounting standard bodies, and all the companies should have a degree of resemblance of the accounting practices which they follow. Here, when we talk about accounting practices, it means the accounting standards, the accounting concepts and conventions, and the accounting policies which the companies are preparing. So, but apart from that, still there is a couple of strong variants of the accounting practices. For example, if we consider the US GAAP, United States Generally Accepted Accounting Principles, or UK GAAPs, that is United Kingdom's Generally Accepted Accounting Principles, or International Accounting Standards, there persisted and existed varied practices simultaneously in all these kind of standards. And these variants are working as threats towards the harmonization of accounting practices. But however, the profession has also witnessed some improvements in the recent years, and accounting bodies has started working on it and has come up with the projects of harmonization in most of the cases, and many cases it is successful also. So there is not far when we will observe that accounting world is controlled and guided by a single set of standards giving a status of legal discipline in true sense. We presently, if we consider the accounting practices, we cannot give the the accounting profession as a legal discipline in a true sense, because there is a variations of accounting practices in all the various aspects of the accounting. So today's discussion will be focusing on the harmonization issue, its current status, its challenges with reference to Indian perspective. So the main focus will be on the harmonization of the accounting standards, international accounting standards, international financial reporting standards, and generally accepted accounting principles. So it is not clear from the part of the certain students, and they are speaking. Please either exit this class or unmute yourself. Otherwise, strict action will be taken against you. And I am not going to spare you and will absolutely debar from attending the classes. So kindly unmute yourself, mute yourself if you are somebody speaking from behind. So today's the focus will be on harmonization of the accounting standards. Basically, with the global increase of the business at the global level, because at the local levels now the businesses are not only conducted at the local level, regional level or the national level, but at the global level. So harmonization of accounting standard has become a highly demand issue of discussion and debate among the accounting professionals around the globe. So accounting standards are basically authoritative statements of best accounting practices issued by recognized expert accounting bodies. For example, at the international level, we have the International Accounting Standard Board. At the national level in India, we have the Indian Accounting Standard Board. Similarly, in UK, you have the UK Accounting Standard Board. Similarly, international level, we have the Financial Accounting Standard Board, that is FASB. So these are the basically accounting standards are the authoritative statements which are issued by these internationally recognized expert accountancy bodies, and these bodies issue various accounting standards regarding the various aspects of, for example, we have the fixed assets. It will have accounting standard regarding the measurement, regarding the treatment of that particular asset, regarding the disclosure of accounting practices and events, and even they try to codify the generally accepted accounting principles, which is known as GAAP, generally accepted accounting principles. So therefore, at the international level, the work is going on to harmonize the various accounting systems, accounting practices, accounting policies, so that we can have a uniform set of accounting standards. Why this is needed? To have a uniform set of accounting standards, because when the businesses are conducted at the global level, when the people are investing in various businesses at the global level, if I am investing in the shares of the US companies and the US people are investing the shares of the Indian companies, naturally the different stakeholder would like to compare their financial statements globally, and comparing the financial statements of all the companies which are at the global level. So if every company is preparing their accounting statements on the basis of different set of standards, and there is no uniformity in it, then it will not be comparable, and it will be not be encouraging for the international investors to invest globally. So therefore, basically the basic purpose of the preparing of these standards and issuing of these standards is to improve and benchmark the quality of financial reporting. So these kind of standards bring about uniformity in financial reporting and ensure the consistency and the comparability in the data published by these companies or enterprises. So basically, these are aimed at furnishing useful information to the different users of the financial statements, such as shareholders, creditors, lenders, management, investors, suppliers, competitors, researchers, regulatory bodies, and society at large. So the process of harmonization gives the global community a single entity accounting standards. The diversity of the stockholding doesn't matter today if the accounting system can generate general purpose financial statements in the real sense. Thus, along with the process of globalization, the awareness of the investors in the capital market has increased manifold, and the size of the investors is multiplying. So even the foreign institutional investors are investing in a different significant volume globally, and also there are several Indian companies going through global depository receipts and American depository receipts. Hence, the need for harmonization of the accounting standard has been strongly advocated at the global level in order to foster the economic decision making process. So accounting has already backed the status of language of the business. In the last lecture also, when we discussed the language of the business, the language of the business must be internationally recognized. And when we say that the language of the business must be internationally recognized, that requires reporting of the affairs in a commonly understandable way. So even at the World Bank conference held in 1999, Jules Mewis aptly says that the power to control the language of the business is very important. Standard setters will come ahead as the world grows smaller and the economic independence is no longer an option but a reality. So it happens that today a good observer can see the preparation of better for the control of the international language of business slowly unfolds. So really slowly we are moving towards the having a language of business which is internationally recognized. When we say that the languages of the business is internationally recognized, it means we are moving towards the harmonization of the accounting policies, accounting practices throughout the world. So if in India we have prepared certain accounting standard that is in convergent with the global accounting standard, which is known as international financial reporting standards. So the concept of harmonization is related with the bringing the uniformity in the accounting practices at the global level, so that there may be a consistency in the accounting practices, there may be a comparability in the accounting practices, and there may be a similarity in disclosure practices at the world level. So therefore, over the period of time, the harmonization of accounting practices is very much required, and the two concepts, harmonization and standardization, are interrelated to each other, but they are not the same. When we draw a degree, harmonization is with lesser degree and the standardization is with more higher degree of comparability and single set of standards. Now the question before arises is, what is the rationales for harmonization of the accounting standards? Why we need to have a single set of standards at the global level? Because as we know that we have been working at the global level and the economies are now global. To allow the gains from the global economy to fully realize, it is argued that accounting policy should be standardized among nations. This harmonization of accounting standard will help the world economy in the following way. Number one, by facilitating the international transactions and minimizing exchange costs by providing increasingly perfect information. So we will be able to facilitate the international transaction between country to country and the multinational companies. So secondly, it will provide standardizing information to the world economic policymakers, and it will improve the financial market information, and it will also improve the government accountability. But there are certain points which needs to have been addressed by all of us, which can give the rationale for the harmonization of the accounting standard. Number one, a harmonization of the accounting policy would help to provide a level playing field. So we will be having a level playing field globally, and the regulators and the auditors will be receiving the same information, facilitating the evaluation process. If the accounting practices differ, accounting standard differ, disclosure practices differ, then the auditors who are working in different countries will not be able to receive the same information, and they will not be able to judge the accounting information from the same evaluation process. So in the absence of free trade, international accounting standards will allow nation tariffs, quotas, and other trade restraints mechanism to be more accurate and less risky for those engaged in trade. So investors and manager will be like to be able to more valuable decisions, and world resources will be better managed and allocated. This is one thing. Secondly, over the period of time, we have witnessed our international capital market has been growing tremendously. There is a lot of expansions in the international capital market, and there is availability of instant global communication, and have placed on the accounting the onus to provide useful and comparative information across international borders. And in many stock exchanges now, the Indian company shares are not only listed in the Indian stock exchanges, but they are also being listed at the US stock exchange. Similarly, the companies from all over the world would like to list their shares in the Indian stock exchanges. And this thing will happen only if the comparable financial statements of the different companies are available and the same accounting policies and practices of disclosure and for reporting purposes are adopted by the different companies. So secondly, we have seen over a period of time that there is a rapid growth of international trade and internationalization of the firms and the development of the new communication technologies and the emergence of international competitive forces is perturbing the financial environment largely. So under the global business scenario, the residents of the business community are badly in need of common accounting language that should be spoken by all of the companies and stakeholders across the globe. So therefore, a financial reporting system of global standard is required for attracting foreign investment as well as at the prospective investors at home that would be achieved through the convergence of the accounting standards. So therefore, it is very much necessary, and even the former president of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, I just like to quote his views, Mr. K.S. Vicente. He said that the people who invest overseas naturally would be like to be able to keep track of the financial health of the securities of the issuers. So therefore, convergence of the accounting standard is the only mean to achieve this, and only by taking the same language we can understand the each other across the border. So therefore it is very much necessary so that we can have the accounting standards on the same level. So with the absence of the harmonization in the accounting standard, the additional cost of financial reporting along with the difficulties that multinational groups faces in the manner in which they undertake transaction will become critical. For example, if we are preparing the accounting standard differently, accounting statements differently, definitely if you have to work at the international level, one set of accounting standard as per the requirements of the international level you have to prepare, and one set of accounting statements you are prepared on the basis of the Indian requirement. So it will increase the additional cost of financial reporting. So when we have a harmonized system of accounting standards, there will be single set of financial statements which will be universally acceptable and will be globally acceptable by all the stock exchanges and the accounting bodies and the various stakeholders. So therefore, it will give a benefit of reducing the additional cost of financial reporting if we have the harmonized system of the accounting standards. So therefore, it is very much necessary that we must have the accounting standard at the same level, and all the companies must follow the single set of accounting standards which are accepted globally. So harmonization is not an end by itself, but it is a means to an end. When you bring harmonization, when you try to bring the harmonization, it will leads to standardization. And one day, the day is not very far, then we will be having a single set of accounting rules and concepts and conventions for all the companies working across the world. So adoption of different accounting standard causes difficulties in making a relative evaluation of the performance of the companies, and this phenomena hinders the valuation and consequently the decision making process. So there are a number of instances even in India and around the world of the bad accounting practices leading to corporate frauds, corporate failures. So corporation wish non-recurrence of such kind of things. So therefore, it is very much important that we must have the single set of accountings. Now let us discuss something about what kind of institutional efforts has been made at the international level and at the local level in India also to bring harmonization. What kind of efforts has been made to bring the harmonization in accounting standards? So there is a concept of convergence of accounting standards dates back to 19th century, when the idea of international accounting standard was germinated at the first International Congress of Accountants at St. Louis in 1904. So basically, it was in 1904 when the idea of having international accounting standard was germinated, and that was germinated in the International Congress of Accountants, which was held in St. Louis in 1904. Then again in 1957, when 7th International Congress of Accountants held in Amsterdam, then there was felt a need of international accounting cooperation and standardization. And in 1966, discussions were made among various professional accounting bodies like Institute of Chartered Accountants of England and Wales, and then Canadian Institute of Chartered Accountants, and the Association of Institute of Certified Public Accountants of the America, which is known as AICPA. And these discussions were led by Sir Henry Benson, the then president of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of England and Wales. These discussions lead to formation of a study group to conduct the comparative study of the various accounting thoughts and practices which are having in the participating countries. So it conducted about 20 studies on accounting and language topics during the 11-year lifetime. And the senior officer of the study group decided to establish international accounting standards. So its meeting was held again in 1972 in the 10th International Congress of Accountants at Sydney. And then the International Accounting Standard Committee was formed, which is known as IASC. And now that committee has been converted into International Accounting Standard Board, which came into existence in 1966-7. And then Canada, Australia, France, Japan, Germany, and Mexico, Netherlands, United Kingdom, and the United States of America on 29th June of 1973 with its secretary and headquarter at London. So now at present, this International Accounting Standard Board has 153 accounting bodies representing 112 countries. So it has been issued so far around 47 accounting standards to harmonize the different accounting standards and policies at present in use in different countries. So barring Canada, Japan, and the US, all countries have accepted these countries. Even Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, which is known as OECD, has approved the code of conduct for multinational enterprises for harmonization of the national and international bodies. So this is one kind of journey which started in 1904 when the idea was germinated, and then in 1957, and then in 1972-73 this International Accounting Standard Board came into existence. So as far as first it was formulated in 1973 International Accounting Standard Committee, then it has passed many phases of its journey to come its present shape, which is in the form of International Accounting Standard Board. So it is felt pertinent to discuss all these. So in 1994 another development was made when International Accounting Standard Board entered into an agreement with the International Organization for Security Commission, which is known as IOSCO, on a mission to complete comparative core of set standards. Then in 1997, Standard Interpretation Committee was formed. In 1999, Board of International Accounting Standard Committee approved the changes in the structure of the committee with a view to achieve global convergence. So even in 2000, one of the most important breakthrough was that the International Organization on Security Commission accepted 30 international accounting standard which was issued by the International Accounting Standard Board. So in 2001 this IASC was given the status of International Accounting Standard Board, and slowly we are moving toward the harmonization. So even in the present global scenario, the countdowns to the harmonization of the national and international accounting standards and improvement in the quality of financial reporting at the global level are best tracked chronologically. So from 2002 to 2020, various developments has been taken place, and even in India, we have the International Accounting Standard adopted, and Indian accounting standard has been converged into INDAS, that the International Accounting Standard has been accepted by India and they have been prepared as INDAS as Indian Accounting Standard, but they are the converged view of the International Accounting Standard Board. So Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, which is the apex body of accounting and auditing, constituting the Accounting Standard Board, uh, which was there in 1977, and till now they have made so many efforts to converge the accounting standards, international accounting standards, into Indian accounting standards. So the ground of diversity between international accounting standard and Indian accounting standard has been reduced, and slowly we are moving towards the harmonization. So various efforts has been made. Even our company law has been amended, our income tax act and accounting standards has been converged, and rules have been made simple. Other regulations and accounting standards as per the guidelines of the RBI, we are all moving towards that. So Indian government has also made a wide variety of the efforts to converge the Indian accounting standard as per the requirements of the International Accounting Standard as prepared by the International Accounting Standard Board, and which are known now as International Financial Reporting Standard, which is known as IFRS. So in conclusion, what I would like to say that harmonization is a process by which differences in the practices among countries are reduced. So the case of harmonization of the accounting practices and principles at the international level is stronger today as it has ever been earlier. So it is concerned with removing unnecessary differences in accounting policies and practices throughout the world. So overwhelmingly, the harmonization of the accounting practices suffer from a lack of synchronization between the issuance of the standard at the national level in different countries and the formulation of the standard by the International Accounting Standard Board. So that we are removing slowly, all the companies are agreeing on it. So I have already send you one document. You must all read that document very carefully, because why I have discussed with you all these today, because it is required, because in the first unit of your syllabi, along with the basic concepts, conventions, and the preparation of the final accounts of the sole trader, it has been written that introduction to the international financial reporting standards you must understand. So you must read this concept very carefully. I would be sending you one another chapter which is relating to the introduction of international financial reporting standards, that you must also read and get the benefit out of it. Because at the present level, when you are in the post graduation, it is expected from you that you must have the detailed study of the various concepts and conventions and the standards which are prepared for harmonizing the accounting practices at the world level. So this is enough for today. So today our topic was totally focused on harmonization of the accounting practices and how the journey has taken place over the year. So now I would just like to have on your all videos and sounds so that we can have some queries and discussions with you also. Nobody must have switched off their audio and video. So that must be on. So now I will be just asking to Saloni 5926, which is,
Yes, sir.
tell me the final conclusion of today's lecture.
So the final conclusion is that we should focus on the harmony between the organization.
Not organization. It means you have not listened the proper chapter properly and not studied even. We are not here talking about harmonization of the organization. We are talking here about the harmonization of the accounting practices and policies which are used by the different corporate world at the global level. We are not talking about the harmonization of the organization. We are talking about the harmonization of the set of standards, set of rules, which are in the form of the policies and practices for preparing the financial statements. You follow this or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Kritika, 5934.
Yes,
What is the
sir.
outcome of today's lecture?
So we have learned that we should follow the international accounting standards,
Mhm.
so that हम जो transaction कर सकें उसकी cost जो है कम हो internationally, और कंपेरेबल हो वो डाटा,
Hmm.
और जो है वो ग्लोबल इन्वेस्टर्स इजीली इन्वेस्ट कर सके
Okay,
उनका।
5935 has some question. Yes, 5935.
Sir, so my first question is,
Hmm.
how these boards and institutions coordinate with the corporate world to implement these Ind AS or the global AS?
Yes, I have already said it, and I have I thought you have not studied the document which I have sent to you. There is now International Accounting Standard Board, which is representing the around 140 accounting standard bodies and representing 112 countries. At every country, there is one accounting standard body, and that accounting standard body coordinate with the corporate world through the company law provisions, through prescribing certain kind of mandatory provisions to follow to prepare their financial statements. So these accounting standard bodies, like in India, we have Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, which works in coordination with the company law board, which works in coordination with the Securities and Exchange Board of India and other bodies which are dealing with the companies. And these bodies coordinate with each other to prepare the accounting set of standards, which is the task given to the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India in India. Similarly, the Institute of Chartered Accountant, which is a member body of the International Accounting Standard Board, at the international level, they coordinate with the International Accounting Standard Board as a member. They discuss these issues at the IASB at the international level. Then they discuss it with the company law board and with the corporate entities like Federation of Indian Chambers of Commerce and Industry. Similarly, we have other chambers also working in the industry. So in coordination with that, a discussion paper first is issued by the International Accounting Standard Board. Then this discussion paper is circulated among the various countries, member bodies. Then this is circulated to the general public, even to the corporate world. They give the comments. After that, a final draft is prepared, and then the draft is given for approval to the International Accounting Standard Board to accept it. Once it is accepted, it is becomes the standard, and then all the international accounting standard bodies, even in India or in Pakistan or in other countries, they accept these standards and try to implement them in their financial statements in their respective countries by the company. So this is a process of coordination which is followed. Okay.
Secondly, sir, I want to ask that in which act the companies compliant with these standards? In
The companies in India, we have the now latest Companies Act. Earlier, we were having Companies Act 1956. So
Yes.
many of the provisions has been incorporated and guideline has been issued to the companies to, if they are registered companies, they have to follow the accounting standards as prescribed by the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India in the form of INDAS, which is the converged format of the international accounting standards.
Last question, sir. I want to ask that is there any threshold that the companies exceeding that threshold have to follow, or if they are having some global investors, then they have to follow the global?
No. Otherwise, there are two kinds of pressures on the companies to follow these standards. One is some standard has been made mandatory by the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. When I say they have been made mandatory, it means according to the provisions of the Companies Act 1956 or the latest Companies Act, they have been made mandatory to follow this. But some kind of standards are recommendatory in nature. When I say recommendatory in nature, it has a pressure of the international level, global level, that when they have to, if they have to list their companies in other stock exchanges or like US stock exchange, UK stock exchange, or Canadian stock exchange, or other stock exchanges, then they are forced to prepare the set of standards. So company will not be fooled that they will be just preparing their one set of accounting standard according to their own requirement, and then one set of accounting standard for the international requirement, because it will lead to increase in the cost. So then two kinds of pressures are there. The pressures of mandatory nature standard, they have to accept it, But another professor, if they have to work globally, then they are forced to adopt these standards. Otherwise, they will not be able to cope up with all these kind of facilities which they are going to get at the international level, or they are going to get investment from the international level.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, any other question? हाँ, एक मेरी ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਰਿਕੁਐਸਟ ਇਹ ਹੈ ਕਿ you must read the documents. So sometimes only the logical questions must come to us. Sometimes many things has been written, and if you don't have read it, then it will create a problem for us. So you must all participate. So when I send you a document, that there is a basic purpose for it, that you must read that document very carefully, because I have already said to you that we are going to have a hybrid system of teaching where you are expected to work 500% more than me to grasp the knowledge, because we are now on online mode, and in online mode it is expected that we must adopt the blended and hybrid mode of teaching. So therefore, whatever document is sent to you, kindly read that documents word to word. It will give, the more you read, the more you get the clarification. So therefore, I will again advise to all of you that you must read the documents very carefully, whatever has been sent to you. Any other thing you want to add or want to say? So be careful about your attendance daily. So otherwise it will be at your loss. We have internal assessment for you also. So if you fail in internal assessment, your external paper will not be evaluated. So therefore it is advisable to you to attend the classes properly and be vigilant regarding this. Thank you so much. So now
Thank you, sir.
you can leave, MCOM BI first semester students can leave the class, because other students has started joining it. So we'll be starting within a 2 or 3 minutes. Let the other people join.